Hello YouTube friends, and welcome to my channel, new and returning subscribers. It's Margie from the Budget Evolution, where we have fun saving our money, and today we are working on our 2025 budget. And this is funny because I have never done a yearly budget. So what I did was I went back and I looked at all of our expenses for 2024. And it was an eye-opener, let me tell you. When you think you know what you're doing and you know you might be spending a little bit more than you should have. Yeah, well, sometimes we spend a lot more than we should have in certain categories. But anyway, we were fine. We didn't, we're not in debt or anything like that. So we are doing just fine, but we can do better. And that is my motto this year, is definitely do better and curb my spending. So I don't have a yearly budget sheet for my binder. So all I did was take a monthly sheet and I just put a sticker over the monthly part and I just put 2025. And I got this idea from watching Lisa Marie budgets. I was watching hers and I was watching her budget with me, right? And I was like, well, wait a minute, she's doing the whole year. So if you want to check out her video, hers was called $50,000 2025 yearly budget. And I guess when I clicked on it, I didn't realize it was for the, like her full figures for the whole year. But I was like, oh, what a great idea. I didn't even think to do that last year. We're just kind of going through the motions and, doing our monthly budgets and our weekly budgets and stuff. But I was like, I want to start doing that because I really want to track how much we're spending and how much we're, saving in our budget and see if we're up, we're down, over, under, and seeing if we're really meeting the needs of our budget. So, and our spending. That's another one. So let me bring out my calculator because we're going to need it. Let me just double check that the whatever that thing is, the light is not glaring on it. Yeah, that should be okay. All right. So let's get started. All right, so I didn't have a perfect way of doing my expenses. I just went back and looked at how much we spent, I guess. But there were a lot of categories, like my low priority binder. I don't have them separated out. I didn't keep track of all the Save to Sink money that we funded in the different categories like clothes and gifts and stuff like that. I just have what we spent because, we track all of our expenses. So that's all I did was go back and it's in here somewhere. And I just went back and did all of the different categories. I'm going to do a better job this year. So it'll be a lot easier because it took me like all day to figure that out, to do every month. So now I'm going to be doing it like weekly and monthly and just keeping up to date with it. So when we do get to the end of the year, I don't have to go through all of that legwork. I could just, total the numbers up in my Excel spreadsheet. And I'll probably put something together, kind of like, like a form, and I'll probably just add it into whatever my TBE monthly planner and put it in my Google Drive. And I did, for those of you who might have downloaded my monthly planner, there was a mistake on I think it was, the cash breakdown sheet. Apparently, because I remember I did mine in pieces. I did it in an Excel spreadsheet, put it in Excel, put it into a different program, project, I think it was. From project, then I made it into a PDF. Yeah, it was. Anyway, it had one of the ranges for one of the fields in the description name. So I fixed that. I re-uploaded it. So the PDF that's in there now, if you wanted to go and just download it again, it's fixed. And if you guys ever find a mistake, please definitely tell me and I will do my best to try to fix it. All right, so income. This is going to be my net income because my gross income, you want to do that because you got to have taxes taken out. We already have our property taxes are taken out. We have our HSA taken out. Our 401k is being taken out. My loan is being taken out. So all those things are being taken out of my paycheck. So we work with my net salary, which this year is, and this is not even like what Lisa Marie said, this is our basic net salary. As long as we don't lose our job, keep your fingers crossed, nothing happens, that it doesn't include any raises, bonuses, or anything like that might come in over the year. All right, so this, like, of me, yeah, my name, Margie. Okay, so it's going to be $54,886 is what we're expecting to bring in before any raises and, like what I said, what was that? Bonuses, because those are not definite. We have an idea, but it's, it's never definite. Anyway, hubby, he knows exactly what he's bringing in because, Social Security. So his Social Security is going to be $25,200, and that's his net. And let's add that up and see what we've got to work with. 54,886 plus 25,200 gives us $80,000 and what is that? $86. Buffer. I'm going to just estimate just to make numbers a little bit easier. I'm going to say $86. And then we'll just start with an even $80,000 for the year. Seems like a lot, but when you get to your spending, it's not really a lot. Electric, I didn't fill these fields in. All right, let me do this real quick. I'm going to fill all these fields in, and then we'll come back and talk about all the amounts. All righty, so let's talk about how much. I'm going to go over the amounts of how much we saved or planned last year, and then how much of a difference it is this year in most of the categories. Maybe not all of them, because some of them I didn't have the exact breakdown, is what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to go back to in my video where I talk about my 2025 goals, and we talked about that I wanted to save $20,000 in all of my savings challenges. Well, did you know? Last year, when I added up all of our different savings categories that we do, we saved $22,423 last year. And they were used in different ways. Save to Sink, went into sinking funds, they went into vacations, they went into Christmas, they went into all kinds of savings challenges and expenses. So it's not money I have like $22,000 sitting in the bank. I don't, because we obviously spent it or we were holding it for something. And the other thing that I wanted to talk about was my daughter. So, we support my daughter in college, and we help offset her loans. And I really wanted her to understand how much money we were giving her every year. This year alone, we gave Julia $17,000. Yeah. That's almost as much as my husband's pay. I sat her down and I said, I was like, her nickname's Juju. And I said, Juju, you really need, you don't really understand until you do it yourself and you have your own salary and you're paying your own bills. You've seen a little bit, but Mom and Dad have always helped you out. And I want her to really understand and appreciate how much we can do for her. And just, and she did say she was very thankful. She is very thankful, but sometimes her spending, you wonder, you really wonder. Anyway, let's get started on our bills. So electric. So this year we're, our electric saga. They told us that we can't change our monthly amount until April. They upped it because, obviously they weren't taking enough out. We went through this. It was $157 at the beginning of 2024. And then in April, they dropped us down to 107, and we called them and they said, we can't change it, and it's their algorithm and they know what they're doing and blah, blah, blah. Well, lo and behold, it wasn't enough money. And then they didn't want to wait until April of this year to get their money. So they started charging us as of January, and they're charging us $232, which is going to be $2,784. Yeah. So they told us to call back in April and change it because we want it changed back to about $160 a month. So last year, so $2,784. Last year, electric was $1,446. So that is a $1,300 difference. It's doubled. And I said, that is not right. So my husband did go back. He went through all the different months and it was about $157 a month. So if they had just left it alone, it would have been fine. But I should have thought, you know what? We should still continue to save that $157, but we didn't. We just put it into savings and stuff. So we'll let that slide. You learn over the years. So homeowners insurance did go up a little bit. So it's going to be $2,820. 2820. Last year in homeowners insurance, we spent $2,085. So that's a $735 increase. Water we're keeping at about $65. It's been running with my daughter home about $60. So we're going to leave it at $65 and it's going to be $780. And that's pretty much about how much we spent. We spent $686 last year. So it's not that big of a difference. My daughter is home, so that was expected. Okay, health insurance is going to be the same, $1,512, but then my husband just got a little booklet in the mail, and I guess, I don't even know what it is, but it's a supplement of a supplement, I don't know. It has something to do with 1 year they were paying for a piece of their health insurance, and 1 year they didn't charge them, and then this year they're going to charge them, but they didn't have any information because last year they didn't charge them, so they can't do it out of our checking account, so we have a little savings book, but you can pay for the whole year. It's $27 for the whole year. So I'm not even sure what it was. We're just going to pay it off. And hopefully it will add to his health insurance amount in here for next year. So car insurance. Well, as you know, my daughter crashed her car and we had to buy a new used one. But it is, a newer car. It's only 4 years old. So this year, what is it? Car insurance, we're going to be paying $4,338 for the whole year. That is an extraordinary amount to what we were paying, which was $356. That's almost $1,300 increase this year. Yeah. Okay, it's okay. My daughter's safe. That's all I care about. Tolls, we're going to pretty much leave the same. What I did is I did $50 for 6 months and I did $25 for the other 6 months because of all the different times we travel. So it's going to be about $450 for this year. Last year we spent $480. T-Mobile, we ended up combining our cell phone and our internet. So now for T-Mobile, it's going to be $2,784. And that may still be overshooting because I think our amount is supposed to be $232, but I estimated $242. We'll see. If I need to change it throughout the year, then I'll update it. Natural gas last year, this year is going to be $15.84. Last year, it's going to be the same number as last year because I don't know if they're going to raise it. Right now, it is freaking cold here in New Jersey. Actually, it's happening all over the country here in the U.S. It is freezing. It's like 30 degrees outside. I mean, in some countries, it's even colder. And, you go further north, it's even colder than it is here. But it is frigid, and that's 30 degrees in the afternoon. So you could just imagine what the temperature is at night. And we are getting a snowstorm. They've already closed my job for tomorrow. We're all max telework tomorrow, which is nice. I like working from home. I'm one of those people that would love to just work from home. Okay, monthly subscriptions. We actually overestimated our monthly subscriptions. So monthly subscriptions last year, we did $662 is what we put aside. Why did I not change it? We only spent $349, but I'm estimating $600 for this year. I thought I might have brought that down, but I know why we didn't spend as much is because of the YouTube premium. I didn't start that until the last month. So I literally just only paid for 1 month. So I was estimating what it would be for next year. So I adjusted a little bit, not too much, but we should be right on board if we don't add anything. Capital One is just a little extra savings I do with my daughter that's automatically taken out of my checking account into Capital One savings, into a high yield savings account. So that's going to be $600. We do $50 a month for her. Does she get it all the time? No, it's when she calls and she says, Mom, I need money. Mom, I'm low. Mom, Mom, made of money. Do you ever figure that out? I think I've mentioned it before on this channel. So let's add this up. And that is going to be $18,252. I think everybody should do a yearly budget, because it really gives you a focus of what the whole year is going to look like and where you might be low in and where you think you could save money, more money. Like some people spend a lot of money in groceries because they're not paying attention. If you just take out $50 a month and you can do that for 1 month, you'd be amazed you could do that for the other months, because we're going to get to those figures in a minute, but you'd be surprised by just taking out, even if you started with $10, just take $10 out of that budget, set it aside for like your little, home emergency fund, and see if you can live without that $10. You'd be surprised. Like I dropped our budget. We were spending $700 a month on average. $700 for 2 people. How did 2 people spend $700 a month on groceries? Yeah, most of them probably went in the trash because we don't eat that much, or it's sitting in the freezer getting freezer burn, which is another thing. We're still trying to work on our freezer challenge. Is we're continuing it here into January, because there's still so much stuff in our freezer. Oh my gosh, stuff that's like getting old and we need to use it. We did go through like 2 bags of like shrimp. We went through all the chicken. We're going through all the pork, and then like all the vegetables that are sitting in there. Yeah. So we're taking our $80,000 and we're minusing our $18,252, and that leaves us with $61,748. Last year, you'd be surprised. I mean, I don't really track my cash, and neither does my husband, but the little times that we do use our credit card, we do take it out of our spending money. And let's see, did I put those down? Did I put those numbers down? No, I don't think I did. I have them somewhere, but we were way under, which means that we spent our cash, but we didn't go over budget, is what I'm saying. So we give ourselves, both my husband and I both get $100 a month, and that's going to be $12.75, because I get paid bi-weekly, and I pay my husband the same way. We get paid bi-weekly, so it's 26 weeks we're getting paid. So he gets the same, $12.75. Now groceries, I thought my husband was overspending. You know how like we upped the groceries to $4.50? Yeah. So I thought he was going over, because there were some months where he was spending like $500. And I'm like, honey, hello. So yeah, we went from $700 on average to $400 was our challenge. And we've been doing that until my daughter came home. And then we had to up it to $4.50. And obviously the price of groceries went up. So groceries now is going to be, we're going to keep it the same, $4.50, and that's $5,400 for the year. In groceries, let's see, my husband, he did fantastic, because our budget last year was $52.30, because we upped it halfway through. And then he spent $53.09. He only went over budget for the whole year by $80. So good for him. He's doing good. I'm not going to yell at him anymore. So household, again, we budgeted $1,300. So we're going to leave it the same, because you know why? Because in household, we only spent $13.58, a $58 overage. So again, right on target. I'm really happy with that. Gas, same thing. We budgeted $13.40. And in gas, oh, there it is. In gas, we actually spent less. We only spent $1,023. So $13.40 and $1,023 means we were under budget for the whole year, $317. That is amazing. And you can guarantee that $317 went to the next category. The next category was dining out. This is where we did not do well. And this is where we really need to pay attention how many times we're going out. The other thing is I didn't separate dining out, like going out, like here and there. Date night, didn't separate those out. I kind of put them like all together. Birthday dinners came out of dining out. What was I thinking? I have a birthday fund. So like my husband, we used it for my husband for his birthday fund, but we didn't use it the rest of the year for different things that were happening. It's like I have holiday funds for certain holidays, but I was kind of lumping it all together into dining out. So in dining out, last year we spent $2,512. Okay. We budgeted $1,275 in dining out, $270 in date night, and $180 in party drink funds. So technically we were only over by $787. So that's not that bad. It's still bad because that's what we were overspending $65 a month. So either we add $65 a month to that category, or I will be better at tracking. I think I'm doing better at tracking. You know, birthday money should be birthday money. Christmas money should be Christmas money. That I think will help us. We still need to watch what we're spending and try to stay within budget. So this year we're going to keep it the same and see if we can hit it. And that is going to be $1,275. So let's add this up. And that is $11,865. So we take our $61,748 minus our $11,865, and that gives us now $49,883. All right, so some of these categories are not going to get filled, well, literally only two, because we're doing them in savings challenges. So graduation we are doing, because my daughter graduates from her pharmacy school, and that's going to be $300 for the year because it ends in May. We're not going to be funding it after May, so that's why it's not that much. Cruise, we are saving in all of these vacation travel box savings, so we're not going to fund this separately. We're going to leave that alone. Same thing with Christmas. We have 2 box challenges. We're not going to fund this separately. Skiing, last year we saved $600. This year we're going to do the same. But my husband spent $1,200 when he goes skiing, but he gets money back from the guys when they go, you know, because they all help pitch in to pay for our rental place, our unit that we have in Maine. They all split the gas and all this other stuff. So usually one person charges everything and then they all pitch in. So we're going to leave that the same. We might throw a couple extra dollars here and there because he does buy what are those things called? Oh my gosh, why do I always forget what it's called? A season pass. That's it. Because for the local ski resorts over in Pennsylvania, they get season passes, and I think the same thing in New York because that's like a day's drive. They could just do it in a day, ski, come home the same day. Okay, renovations. I don't think I put it on here now because renovations really came out of my husband's 401k. I'd like it to be not coming out of his 401k. I don't want to touch his 401k anymore after the car. I want to be done. I want to leave his money in the bank and let it grow because we have been touching it every year until the government says I have to start taking the money out. I don't want to take the money out anymore. So hopefully this will be the last year we take money out and we save it. J-House. You know, my daughter obviously right now does not have a house. We have no idea what's going to go on with residency, which, by the way, she did apply for she applied to 8 residency programs, got it in down to the wire. Well, she's like me. We procrastinate until the last minute. So I'm really proud of her. And before she even got to Atlanta, she already got her first interview. So interviews run between 3 to 6 hour interviews, depending on the program. So she has to come back to New Jersey for this particular one. And it's the one that she knew she would probably get an interview because they really, really, really liked her. but it's a small community hospital, so it's not her number one place that she wants to go to. But if she doesn't get anything else, we know she at least has a pharmacy program. So we're a residency program, I mean. Well, hopefully. It still has to go through that algorithm thing. I don't know. So right now we're just putting $100 away a month. So that's going to be $1,200 for the year. That will probably change because residency usually starts in June, July timeframe. And then I'm sure she'll have other expenses. You know, we have to pay for the actual NAPLEX exam, and, you know, she has to get her license in the state that she's going to be working in. So depending on where that is, that's extra. Okay. Accountant, let's see. We are putting, well, I don't even know what we're putting away a month. And it's been up and down. He's usually about $200, but I expect him to be a little bit more expensive this year because we'll probably have my daughter on there. Car maintenance, I didn't write that one down either, did I? No, because car maintenance, we really didn't have any maintenance this year, thank God, because last year, 2023 was rough. We spent a lot of money in 2023. So this year was not bad, except we had to buy a new car. So we're going to leave this at $600. I think it's $50 a month. DMV is $64.50 for all 3 cars. So that's going to be $180 for the year. Investments, we're doing the CD ladder this year. So that's going to be $50 a month. So that's $600. Life insurance stayed the same. As far as I know, my life insurance has not changed. My husband's life insurance ran out. We both have a, what do they call it? We don't have a whole life plan. We have, you guys are going to have to put it down in the comments because right at the moment, this brain can't think of what it's called. Municipal Utilities Authority. That's all like our sewer stuff. That's $360 as far as I know. That has not changed. Medical. Prescriptions and medical. So last year in medical, I saved $1,500. And we spent, not 15,000, 1,500. I did not put enough money aside in my HSA, which is pre-tax dollars, which is very nice. It's a nice advantage. We spent $32.48. So we overspent in medical $17.48. Well, technically, we only spent over $248 because I didn't plan the other $1,500 like I should have. So anyway, I upped my HSA, as I mentioned at the beginning. I'm not exactly sure how that's going to affect my paycheck, but we'll see. I expect it to hit my paycheck about $150. So it'll be $150 less than what it is now. But we'll be a little bit more better prepared to pay everything with my HSA. All right, so we're going to, what are we doing? We upped it a little bit. We're making it $19.20 for this year, and that had a lot to do with prescriptions more than medical expense. Winter, our dog, we have a nice surplus in his envelope, and we are keeping him at $840 for this year, which I think is about $70 a month, you know, for him to get groomed and stuff. We have a nice surplus if he has to go to the vet. Yearly subscriptions, we actually undercut ourselves for yearly subscriptions. We only planned $408 last year. I don't know what I was forgetting, but we spent $500. So we needed another $100 in there. So yearly subscriptions this year is going to be $504. Date night, we're still going to do our $20. So that's going to be $240 for this year. Party and drinks, that's like, you know, drinks like coffee, tea. I don't really drink coffee, but I'm a tea drinker, so I love to get chai bubble tea once in a while. So that's like my thing. And then usually when my daughter's home, she'll go to the liquor store. Not that she's an alcoholic, but they, you know, the kids, they like to drink when they get together. Let's see, party fund. I'm still leaving that at $180. I think I dropped that down from $20 to $10. Maybe about 15. I think maybe it's 15. I think it's 15. So retail therapy, I didn't have a good tracker on this because we changed it from closed to retail therapy because it was like, I didn't just want that one category. I wanted to be able to spend it on whatever I wanted when I went out and spent money. So retail therapy, is going to be for this year, we're setting aside $240. And that is obviously not enough. But for right now, I'm trying to keep myself on a budget. Self-care, same thing. And we're going to talk about that number in a minute. I just wanted to get to self-care too. So we're going to set aside $360. I spent an exorbitant amount of money on self-care. Let's see. Self-care. Why didn't I write that down? Let me check my notes. Okay. Self-care. I spent $1,400 last year. Oh my God. $1,400. Divide that by 12. That's $116 a month on just self-care stuff. That's like makeup, moisturizer. I shake my head because I'm like, I can't believe I spent that much money. So I'm really going to focus. And I was trying a lot of products. I was trying, hand creams. I was trying moisturizers. I was trying serums and stuff. So that stuff can get costly, especially when you buy something and then you try it a couple of times and you're like, I don't really like that, but I spent all that money. I know. Retail therapy, again, I didn't have a good spending expense for that particular category because we only started it like halfway through the year. Retail therapy, we spent $119. So obviously that is not correct. Clothes, though, we spent $1,200 in clothes. So originally that category was retail therapy, was clothes. So I'm not exactly sure how much I saved, and I'm not exactly sure I know exactly how much I spent. But again, I don't have a good tracker for that. So this year I'm really being diligent about tracking all of those expenses. So next year I'll be able to see how much I saved, how much came in from save to sink, and how much I spent. And I'm really going to put a tight belt on myself because that's way too much money for clothes. I didn't need that much clothes. And now I'm like losing weight. I lost 20 pounds. I'm really proud of myself. I lost 20 pounds. Not that I was like hugely overweight, but I was definitely getting there. And 20 pounds, that's 2 dress sizes, technically. They say every 10 pounds is a dress size. So my jeans are falling off of me. But I don't want to go out and buy another pair of jeans. So I'm like digging through my closet. We all of us women all have that section where we have multiple sizes. So I'm like digging through and I'm pulling out clothes that still have tags on them. Can you believe it? Oh my gosh. Yes. So I'm going in and I'm recycling what I already have to get me by until I get to my goal weight. So miscellaneous was a category, again, we started after, I think we started this miscellaneous category only 2 months ago. So for this year, we're doing $240 we're going to put into this category. I'm going to add this up. That is $9,516. So we have our $49,883 minus our $95,16 leaves us with $40,367. Okay, destroy the debt. That's my personal loan. This year we're setting aside $2,844. We are putting on top of, this is principal, that we're going to pay extra principal on it. We already have that money is already being taken out of my paycheck every month to pay it the monthly amount. That's not exactly how much we put into our destroy the debt because we were taking the excess money out of bingo. We were taking any leftover personal money, my husband's personal funds. Whenever I had like an excess in a category, I was putting it towards that destroy the debt. So last year, did I even write that down? No, see, I don't even have that tracked because it's not like an expense. Did I write? Yeah, I only wrote down the budget amount, which is the $2,844. So this year, hopefully, I will keep better track of it. So that's $2,844. And yes, $40,000. I could probably pay that loan off. But you know what? I wouldn't have any videos to make if I did that. I probably could do it. I should do it. But yeah, everybody has their own thing, right? All right, so 4367 minus 2844. And that is 37,523 is going towards different savings challenges. So Savings are a big bundle savings, which is all our big, our 10K, 3K, bingo, those ones. We are going to be putting away $21,660 in all of those. I added that up, and when you multiply it by that 12, you're like, holy moly, that's a lot of money. So we should hit our $20,000 goal for next year. The only thing that will mess up that goal is my daughter. And if she has to move out and live someplace else for her residency, will that change? Because even though she will make a salary in residency is only between $40,000 and $50,000 for postgraduate year one, PGY1, that's what they call it. So PGY1 in most of the areas that she's applied to is about between 40 and 50,000, and that's gross. That's not net. And then she's got to pay for, rent, and then, all the other expenses. We pay everything for the car. We pay for her phone. But she's also, her loans are going to start coming due 6 months after she graduates. So that's going to play a big part in how much we pay, and she won't be able to pay. And we're still trying to figure out which program she should set up paying her loans back. I haven't even started the YouTube videos because Christmas was so busy. That was one of my things that I wanted to do over my holiday, was to start looking into what's the best avenue for her for next year. Okay, so Save to Sink is also our holiday binder, and what else? Something else. Holiday. It's another binder. I can't remember. I think it's the box challenge. The Christmas box challenge is also in our Save to Sink amount. So we're looking to put $1,800 into those binders. Vacation, we are looking to put into that binder the $1,500. Wedding in Japan, we are estimating $1,440. Travel box challenges, the 3 books are going to be $2,880 is what we're planning on putting away. And then our savings challenge and our 2025, which is funding Christmas next year, is going to be $5,124. Now realize this $21,660, all right, the Hawaii trip is $8,200. So really, in theory, we're only going to be using $13,000 for savings. And we're probably even going to use more than that, because that includes not one excursion. And I'm sorry, I told my husband, I said, honey, this is going to cost a lot more than $8,200, because we thought, oh, it's a great deal. Yeah, it's a great deal until you realize you can't go anywhere. The excursions are so expensive. And these are places, this is a once in a lifetime. I don't like using once in a lifetime, because we take a lot of once in a lifetime trips. This will be our 3rd once in a lifetime trip. We went to Ireland. We've been to Italy. We did the whole Italy, Spain, France. Yeah. So this is our 3rd huge trip. Our 4th will probably be Japan in 2027. Keep our fingers crossed. I don't think I'll ever get my bathroom redone at this point, because again, like I said, I didn't want to take any more money out of my husband's 401k. I want to leave it alone. So if we want to do the bathroom, we're going to have to take it from one of these funds to help fund and pay for that. So, all right, let's count this up. 21,660, 1,800, 1,500, 1,440, 2,880, 5,124. So that is, it's not going to be the same, because we're not doing a zero-based budget for our year. Not every dollar is accounted for. 34,404. And there's a reason, because we want to make sure we have a buffer if anything comes up. So 37,523 minus 34,404 leaves us with a surplus of $3,119 for the year. Surplus. I think that's how you spell it. Anyway, So, and that's for unexpected expenses, changes in my salary. It could be extra health insurance for my husband, whatever it might be, things that come up and change. Obviously, I'm not going to budget this completely out to the dollar. That, I don't want to do that because I definitely want to leave a little bit that we can, move around if something changes throughout the year. And hopefully we'll get a raise, and hopefully we'll get our bonus, and things will be a little bit better, and we can put more money into different places where we want them. Okay, so that's our 2025 yearly budget. I highly recommend you doing a yearly budget to look at what the year is going to look like for you. And it's also a goal. It is a goal. It's like, can we reach these amounts? The other thing is track your expenses. Any good budgeter will tell you you need to track your expenses in order to plan. You cannot see where your money is going if you don't track your expenses. And that was a hard thing for me to swallow because I hated doing it. But you know what? Now I look forward to it. And now we're trying to do it every other week. And I'm going to grit my teeth and I'm going to say, I love this. I love this because in the end, it really keeps you on track. If you don't track those expenses, you don't know where your money's going. With that, I want to thank you all so much for all of your support. And thank you for watching. Thank you for watching the ads for the AdSense. And just, subscribing. And this community is fantastic. And I learn every single day. I learn something different. And you will too. Just watch those videos and learn. Put them in practice. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, change it. You see how many times I change things until I find what works for me. Everybody is different. But anyway, please like, subscribe, share, comment. If you got questions, feel free. I'll do my best to answer your questions. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye, everyone.